In previous years when we did snow rinks, what we do is get the hose out, we wet the snow, and then we tramp on it with our boots, and then we let it freeze, and that would create a good base. But we lost a lot of water because there's all kinds of little holes that go down into the grass, and the water doesn't freeze. It just goes down into the grass and you never see it again. So this year we did something a little different. We used some of this material. There we go. This one is M86. You can kind of see the thickness of it. It's not very thick at all, but it's thick enough that you can't just poke your thumb through it. And that kind of retains the water and builds it up faster. So we used far less water this year than we did in previous years. And it came together much quicker. If I had to do it over again, I would try and wrap the edges up. I just laid it on the ground and the water would run off the edge. So I think that if I did it over again, I'd get a 2x4 or maybe a branch from the forest and kind of roll up the edge to create a bit of a barrier so it can't escape, and that would even take less water. Here you can see our lovely demonstration of the rink. It's big enough for small kids. If you have big kids, it might be a little bit tiny to play hockey and whatnot, but it's just big enough for the kids to skate around and enjoy what the water and ice has brought. You also note that this year was another big change. We used this hose. Big difference between this hose and another hose is this one has heat tape wrapped around it. A regular hose doesn't have the heat tape. So after you finish flooding it, you have to unplug the hose and take it into the garage or into the house so that it doesn't freeze. If it freezes, then the water won't flow through it, and then you have to wait until you can thaw out the hose before you can go. With that hose with the heat tape, we didn't bring it in at all. And as a matter of fact, when you leave the hose on the ground, it would melt through the ice in the snow that the ground there, and you could see green grass growing underneath the hose. It was a very big convenience though, that we didn't have to keep unplugging the hose and taking it in the house to warm up, which made the whole process much more enjoyable. You could go out there after supper for a half an hour and just add another layer of ice, and it was really quite comfortable. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and learned a few tips along the way. And have a great winter making your own ice rink.